Good morning, everyone. We'll just get started. Casey will give some thoughts going into Angel City on Saturday, and then questions.
Yeah, obviously, another big game, but all games in this league are big. Again, we respect our opposition. They're a good side. I think they've had a really good season so far. They've got lots of threats that can hurt you. But we are very confident in our locker room and what we've got available to us this weekend to go there and have a go and try and get a result. We know that we're probably going to have 20 to 22,000 fans against us, which is great for the women's game and great for this derby type game. Just a great opportunity to play them in first time in regular season. So yeah, a game we're really looking forward to.
Great. Stephanie, we'll start with you and then Hector.
Hi, Coach. I have two questions. The first of which is that there's a rivalry between San Diego and Los Angeles. The Padres and the Dodgers recently played their series around the same time that San Diego played Washington. And you've played in the Northwest London Derby with both Chelsea and Arsenal, and you've coached the Manchester Derby with Manchester United, obviously. And so my question is, do you think that this rivalry between San Diego and Los Angeles, Angel City and the Wave, has the ability to be equally as intense as some of the rivalries you've played in and coached in the past? And do you think the players feel that too?
Yeah, definitely. These are derbies for the fans. When I was a coach, it was very much about the opposition and how we could win the game, irrelevant of the derby. But they are for the fans. They do add a little bit of spice. They can heat up a little bit. For my team, it's about, trying to stay on a run of wins and trying to get a result there and, performing on the road, albeit it's a slightly more local game. But yeah, absolutely. I think you talk about those derbies, they've got a lot of history. This is a new derby, but we want to give it everything we've got to get a result, to add to the derby, to make sure that there is, we build a history between these two teams. And I have to say, I think they've done exceptionally well, Angel City. And they've got a good coach, they've got a good team. So really looking forward to this game the weekend.
Right. And my second question is that England played the first game of the Euros yesterday, and I saw that you were writing a column for the Times about them. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts about how England played yesterday.
Yeah, I think I don't think they'll be overall pleased with the performance, but ultimately opening group game, you want to win. So they've started with a win. They can build on that and get momentum. When they play Norway next week, that's going to be a very different test, but a win is always important. I thought the crowd was tremendous. And I think it's a very exciting time for women's football.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hector?
Yeah, again, congratulations on that win for England. Regarding the game on Saturday, you guys have played LA a couple of times already, and you came out with a win and a draw. Obviously, they're without Christian Press for the rest of the season. How helpful is it for you guys, knowing you've already played them before and you were successful against them, and knowing the fact that they don't have their best player?
Yeah, it feels like, to be honest, Hector, it feels like we played them a lifetime ago. So much has happened since then. They've developed since then. So have we. It's really unfortunate they're without Kristen. That's a sad injury for her. Obviously, I know her personally. So I wish her a massive speedy recovery on that, because, she's a key player for them. But then they've signed Sydney Leroux, another really talented forward who can cause you problems. So, they've done good business there. We know them, but we also know, we had some really tough, tight games against them. So it's going to be a real test. We'll need to be mentally right, physically right to go and get a result.
Thank you.
Tom?
Yes, Coach, I'm interested if you can explain some of the economics here. Looking at your opponent, I would just be confident saying they generate way more revenue based on their attendance and the reports of their merchandise sales. It doesn't seem to translate into a disparity on the soccer field. And how have you been able to offset that? Are there rules with the league that negate revenue advantages? Because in baseball, we see the Dodgers, their revenue advantage does translate into dominance on the field. So how does it work with Angel City?
Obviously, there's specific rules around salary caps and what you can spend in terms of allocation money. So, yeah, it's fantastic that they're getting those attendances, they're getting those sales, you know, they've got a good team out there. So yeah, Tom, I don't get involved in the figures. I just prepare the team to win and try and, you know, accumulate as many points as we can throughout the season. Yeah, we moved to a bigger stadium in September. So hopefully we can match those figures and we can get more of the San Diego community in our stadiums right behind the team. So yeah, this is never a good side. They're obviously spent a vast amount of money on their marketing and how they market the team, and it's paying off for them.
Do you feel like you guys have what it takes to put together a championship team with the revenues and the way the rules work?
Yeah, I think it's about the characters you bring into your locker room, how they're coached, how they develop. And, you know, for an expansion team, we're doing okay at the moment. We want to continue to build and grow and add. And that's my focus, is how I develop these players into championship winning players over a number of years.
And the other question is, have you ever been to this stadium, and is it pretty exciting to be in such a nice stadium with a big crowd?
I've never been to this stadium, so it's a new experience for me and the players. I've watched it obviously on the TV, and they get fantastic attendances. It'll be a great stadium. So yeah, looking forward to it. What a night for these players, this football club. And, you know, our only focus though is not the occasion, it's the game and getting a performance and a result.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll go Emor and Theo after.
Thank you, Emma. Hi, Casey. Good morning to everyone. I have two questions. Casey, yesterday there was more than 68,000 fans at Old Trafford,
Yeah.
a new record of attendance at a women's Euro game. What does this mean for women's soccer?
I think it shows the narrative and the conversation's changing. You look at the Champions League crowds that Barcelona have got, you know, thousands and thousands, and records being set in Germany, in France, in Spain, in England. I think that speaks volumes for the game itself. It's growing. I think people are really aware of it now. It's more visible. It's being marketed better. It's amazing what you can do when you put a bit of money into marketing and you make the game more visible. And the product on the pitch is great too. You know, people want to keep coming back. So it's exciting. It's a really exciting time for the women's game. And it's a privilege to be part of.
Okay, and the other question is, what do you think about the Women's World Cup qualifying in CONCACAF? You have some players over there.
Yeah, I've been watching. Obviously, it's been an interesting tournament so far. It was interesting because I was watching the Jamaica-Mexico game the other day, and actually two or three of the players that are in that Jamaica team I've coached in their youth game, in their youth careers, you know, so really great to see them doing well. Obviously, Alex scoring, keeping her confident, happy, healthy and scoring is great. She's playing well for the States now, and Taylor has got some time prior to the tournament, and so is Naomi, and hopefully they might get some more time over the next couple of games. So yeah, it's great. And obviously Kaylin keeping a clean sheet and winning 6-0. I'm sure she'll be happy as a goalkeeper. So really pleased with the players and that they're performing well for their countries, and it's an exciting tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Theo?
Hi, Casey. I know you obviously got a big win last weekend without your international. So I was just wondering kind of what your coaching lessons have been. Considering this is your first time where you have, you know, 5 starters leave the team for a tournament mid-season. What have you kind of had to adapt as a coach, or the things you've added to your repertoire when it comes to missing star players and still the season going on?
I think the biggest part is the preparation before you even start. So the players that you know you're going to bring in that maybe aren't going to international tournaments, and then how you play them in. You know, so many of our players have been played in and had minutes during Challenge Cup during the season, so they can step in and they're already ready to go. And I think the fact that we place value in each individual member as much as we can every single day, so that, you know, when we are missing those players, it's not an issue for them, and it's a massive opportunity for everybody here to shine and to have a go and place their mark on the game. So I was really pleased with how we performed. We know it was important to build partnerships in that game that maybe haven't formed so far, but that was a huge win for us. The belief, the momentum, knowing that they can go out there, perform and play well, and not have to rely on, you know, the big names to get results. It's a team sport and we've got a great roster. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with the way the team performed last weekend.
And I would be remiss if I didn't ask you for a winner at Euro 2022.
England.
Love it. Cheers, Casey. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go last question, Taylor, and then that'll be it.
Do you have any update on Jodie Taylor's availability for this weekend?
Yeah, she'll be unavailable.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers. See you then.
Kind of that. See, I should have put
All
some
right.
makeup on.
I forgot we had this.
Run
I
all
drove
the
in and I was like,
Here we go, everyone.
Right.
We're gonna hop right into questions.
Look,
if
I've got
that's
a
cool with you
ponytail.
guys. We're a little shorter on time now. Hector, we'll start with you.
Yeah, congratulations on the victory last week and happy birthday, Carly. Same question to both of you. How impressed are you with the fact that you're in first place, considering it's your expansion team, first place in the standings? And what do you expect out of the game against Angel City?
Oh, Chris, send us away.
I mean, I think expansion teams are notorious for having kind of just a slow first year in general, but I don't think any of us came to this team with that mentality. So I can't say we're really shocked with where we're at because we've put in a lot of work and time and effort. And I think we're gelling and getting better each week. And we just have kind of like next man up mentality. Like, doesn't matter if people leave, we have people on the bench, we have people coming into our squad, and I think we have the same principles every week. So yeah, we're expecting an exciting game versus Angel City every time we've faced them this year. It's been
Wild.
a wild game. So I think, yeah, we're just expecting kind of an exciting game in their stadium, a lot of fans, a lot of people probably hoping that we lose, and we are really excited.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Carly.
Thank you very much.
Stephanie?
Hi, Carly. First off, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I have two questions for you. The first of which is that you've played in the Northwest London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal. And so I was wondering if you think that the rivalry between San Diego and Angel City has the opportunity or the chance to be equally as intense as that derby. And what are your thoughts on England's win yesterday, as I know you're a former Lioness?
Yeah, firstly, I think the derby that I guess is brand new to the league is going to be huge. I think you look at the crowds that we both attract, we sell out every game pretty much, and them guys have done the same. Once we move to our new stadium, I think it'll become even huger. I think it's a massive opportunity for the game to keep growing. I think the fact that we can sell stadiums out, and I think you just look at the merchandise that we sell as well. That's the amazing thing when you go to these games, is just how many people buy the shirts, and it just makes it feel so much more real. And that's not to say that Chelsea v Arsenal isn't like that, but it's just on a smaller scale. The rivalry is just as intense, but that's been such a historic thing throughout the men's game. Now it's transferred to the women's game. So to have such a rivalry that's brand new and it's kind of established itself within 6 months is massive. So it's only going to grow and grow. Very blessed to play in, like say, one of the best teams in the league. But I'm sure Angel City on Saturday will be hoping to do one over us, like they always are. Always chasing our tails, which is unfortunate for them. And as for yesterday, yeah, it was a huge win. I sat with my friends over there in Cuthbert, a Scottish player from the UK. So we both watched it with Kelsey, who joined us yesterday. I'm absolutely buzzing for the girls, for the country. It's going to be amazing. Of course, I'm going to say that we're going to win it, but I think we actually got a huge chance. I think a lot of team, yeah, it is actually. Chris knows. You can tell I've been telling all the girls. But yeah, it was a fantastic win and a lot to build on. I think Austria played really well yesterday, so it was a really good test for us for first game. But to keep breaking barriers, keep smashing records, and keep putting women's football on the map globally is what it's all about. And I'm sure the girls are going to do it over the next 3 weeks.
Thank you, and good luck to England against Norway, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Theo?
Hi, Carly. While we're talking Euro 2022, I do want to get one out of the way, which is if England are not going to do it,
Yeah.
who's going to get in their way?
It's interesting that you've always got to fancy the Swedes. I think they've just never really crossed that final line. I think they've got quite a few silver and bronze medals. I think with their caliber and with their crop of players, youngsters and some of the more mature and kind of experienced girls, I think they've got like a really good blend at the minute. But again, it's whether they can do it. I think the teams that people aren't talking about, the Germanys, the Norways and the Frances, I think they're kind of ones that are going under the radar at the minute. You look at the caliber of the players and it's weird that they're not really getting mentioned. So there's a few in there that's interesting as well. But a lot of teams are going through transitions. It doesn't seem to be anyone standing out at the minute. And that's why I've said England, because I feel like we've been the most consistent team throughout the past 12 months. So yeah, that's kind of I've said a few there, but yeah, it's probably Sweden. For the team.
Love it. Thank you, Carly. On you in San Diego though, what's been your key to preparation, kind of biding your time for this period? Internationals away, it's such an important time to step up. You win your first game in your first regular season 90 after a couple in the Challenge Cup where it didn't go that way. Yeah, what's been the kind of key to your preparation, and what do you feel like is clicking?
I'm really blessed to work with someone like Kaylin Sheridan every day, if I'm honest. She's young, she's hungry, and for me is on track to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So you work with someone like her at my age, it keeps you young, it keeps you hungry. And again, coming like when I played in the Challenge Cup, it was almost like a bit of a shock to the system. It's a completely different way of playing out here. It's very fast, it's very furious. I hadn't played for 7 months. Obviously, being at Chelsea, I was kind of third choice and happy to do so. But then having to change and switch that mentality to being competitive again was huge. And it's not to say that I didn't do that, but it probably caught me by shock. I think it caught us all by shock the first few Challenge games, Challenge Cup games. But it was great for us as a team. I think we learned a lot from it, and we took that into the regular season. And like I say, we've thrived since then. For me, it was just about, like you say, getting my head down, trusting in what I'm good at, knowing what I'm good at, and that I'm capable of playing in this league and playing at a very high standard. And then I've got standards in which Kaylin held me very high too. She's, like I say, having a great season so far, and it's important that I make sure that we keep trying to keep clean sheets, keep trying to score, concede as least goals as possible, and let the girls up top score as many as they can, and that hopefully keeps us winning until the end of the season.
Kristen, for Carly, Casey, it's their first time with the international players going away mid-season and having to adapt to that. Have you given any advice or kind of told people like, yeah, this is what it's like in the NWSL, where you have these summers where kind of the whole league can flip on its head?
Yeah, I mean, I think Casey from the get-go has just really emphasized like what I was saying before, next man up mentality. Like, doesn't matter if you don't see time for the first 4 months of season, like when these people leave, we don't want to skip a beat. And I think because we've emphasized that, the transition has been a lot smoother. I mean, there's still kinks and relationships being built, but I think everyone has really stepped up, and we really haven't missed too much of a beat.
Yeah, I'd say the trust that Casey puts in every single one of us as players just means that everyone feels so valued. So when you are given the opportunity, you don't feel like you're given the opportunity just because it's more that she trusts you and she believes in you. And that, I think you can see that gets us over the line in games where we are missing, say, some of the key players or players that are playing more regularly. So yeah.
Cheers. Thank you both for your time, and good luck at the weekend.
Thank you.
We're going to go last 2 questions with Tom and then Joey.
2-part question. Have you been to this stadium, and are you familiar with the Los Angeles-San Diego rivalry, particularly in baseball?
Oh.
Baseball, I mean,
no and no.
Well, I have been to the stadium. So I went to LA v Kansas City randomly. Some of my friends were up in LA, and we went and watched the game there, and we got treated to an amazing atmosphere. If I'm honest, it's probably one of the best stadiums I've stepped in to a women's game. You can only compare it to, like you say, European Championships or a World Cup. It was noisy, it's loud, it's fun. I think it keeps the pace of the game fast and furious because you're constantly hearing the crowd levels go up and down. But yeah, they've created something very special there, and I think anyone that goes and plays there, whether you're, like say, an away team or it's a derby, it's a pretty special stadium to play in as a female footballer. I know I don't know much about baseball, sorry. I went to one Padres game, didn't have a clue what was going on. But we won. We bought all the merchandise. Absolute tourists.
All right, Joey, last question.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I guess I would ask is, we've been sort of told like that this is a rivalry, and I'm wondering for you guys, what actually makes it a rivalry? Like you guys said that the games are wild. What makes them wild, and what makes it fun for you guys?
I think it's just the fact that we're both brand new franchises for once. There's always going to be that who's doing it best, who's got the best team, etc. But then also we're like technically an hour away from each other, which in America is quite small, right?
Yeah.
In England, that's quite far. But yeah, it's obviously quite close. Both West Coast teams, both probably going to claim to be the best team in California. So there's all that kind of those cliche things that you could say about it that makes it probably a special rivalry. And then you look at the caliber of players that we have as well, makes it exciting too. So
Yeah.
I think that that's probably put it on the map.
And I think every time
excels it more.
we've played them, it's just been chippy. Like from
Yeah.
the first game of the Challenge Cup to the last one, like
Even the friendlies before, like, the
yeah,
season
we had
started, it
like
was
everything has
yeah.
just been a little chippy. There's been, a little extra shove or like whatever. So I think that also just kind of makes it feel like a more intense.
Yeah, and I would say
of a
coming
game.
from a like say a country where, or a team as in Chelsea where we have quite a few derbies, London derbies, obviously Arsenal's the main one, that it does have that feel, that bite around it where it's like everyone, like even probably the press conferences are going to have a little niggle at each other, etc. And then that build up and yeah, not everything that surrounds it, who's going to be the best team in California, etc. That'll rumble on, I think, for however long we stay the two teams in California. They're going to bring any more here, but yeah, I think that feel around it, it's very cool to have. I think you need that in any sort of sport. Them rivalries, it just makes it special.
Cool. Thank you guys.
These two have got to run to a meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Happy birthday. Thank you, guys. I'll send out the recording by the end of the day.